7% fall of the Australian economy in the June quarter to be down 6.3% on the year. We've got quarterly records in the Australian economy going back to 1959. This is the biggest quarterly decline that we've ever seen on record. In terms of the annual decline, as I said, so that's 6.3%. You've got to go back to 1945, the war years, when so the economies was contracting back then, to be able to find so bigger decline. So as you mentioned, so when you were commencing the broadcast, decline that we were looking at was around about 5.4%. The market was looking for a decline of somewhere around about 5 or 6%, so it's certainly a little bit above sort of market expectations. But certainly with sort of the volatility, sort of the data in recent times, forecasting is somewhat difficult in sort of the current circumstances.
It certainly is. Early thoughts or indications on why this might have come out worse than expected? I understand what you're saying about volatility there, but any initial thoughts on that?
Well, basically it's due to household spending and also business investment. So we do know in terms of the quarter that net exports minus imports actually contributed 1 percentage point to growth. The government sector contributed 0.6 percentage points to growth. So the decline is very much because of the lockdown. Because sort of over the period, sort of April, May particularly, sort of most of the economy was locked down and only really came out, in a big way, so during the month of June. So during this period of time, really from March, businesses were restricting the amount of spending in the economy, not just the traditional day-to-day spending, but also the big-ticket capital spending, sort of as well. So I suppose the best that we can say is that this is going to be the worst outcome that we're likely to see. From here, the economy sort of picks up. We are in recovery mode, sort of present, and as soon as we can get sort of the cases down in Victoria, and to a less extent, New South Wales, those two states can join the rest of the country being virus-free, and we can return to some degree of normalcy. Now, the recovery process is going to take a degree of time. People have been dislocated from their workplaces. Unemployment rate has risen. We typically know that it takes a while for unemployment to come back down after spiking to higher levels. So we've got 7.5% jobless rate at the moment, likely to get up around about 9 or 10% before it peaks. So the good news is that the worst seems to be sort of behind us now, but the recovery process is going to take a degree of time. There's going to be a fair degree of time in the healing process and certainly getting people back to work.
Craig James, thank you. So this is certainly an historic moment right now, this economic news confirming so far the COVID cost to Australia.